For over a decade, the most powerful drug lord on the planet lived in the shadows, hunted by the DEA, the CIA, the Mexican military, and Interpol. They knew his name, they knew his face, they even knew his blood type, and still, they couldn't touch him.
His name was Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. The world knew him as El Mencho. And this is the story of why he was impossible to kill. Until now.
El Mencho was not born into power. He was born into poverty in Michoacán, Mexico in 1966, one of 11 children in a family with nothing. As a young man, he crossed into the United States illegally, picking fruit in California. He was arrested, deported. He came back, arrested again. And somewhere in those years between the fields and the prison cells, something changed in him. By the 1990s, he had traded the fields for the cartel. He worked his way up through the Milenio Cartel, learning the business from the inside. When that organization collapsed, he didn't go down with it. He built something new. In 2011, El Mencho founded the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG. What followed was the fastest and most violent cartel expansion in Mexican history. Within 5 years, CJNG had operations in 28 of Mexico's 31 states. By 2020, the U.S. Treasury Department declared it one of the 5 most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. The DEA put a $10 million bounty on El Mencho's head, the largest reward ever offered for a Mexican cartel leader. He had surpassed El Chapo. He had outmaneuvered the Sinaloa cartel. He had become, by every measure, the most powerful drug trafficker alive.
So why couldn't anyone stop him? The answer is not simple. It is a combination of strategy, paranoia, and a security operation that rivaled some governments.
First, he never stayed in one place. Unlike El Chapo, who built mansions and lived lavishly, El Mencho lived like a ghost. He moved constantly through the mountains of Jalisco and Michoacán, surrounded by a rotating inner circle of no more than 5 people at any time. No phones, no digital footprint, no patterns. Second, he had informants everywhere. Inside the Mexican Federal Police, inside local governments. Some reports suggest even inside agencies cooperating with the DEA. Every time a raid was planned, El Mencho was already gone. Third, he weaponized fear unlike any cartel leader before him. In 2015, CJNG shot down a Mexican military helicopter with a rocket launcher in broad daylight. It was a message: we are not hiding, we are not afraid of you. Come for us, and we will destroy you. And fourth, his health became his shield. By the mid-2010s, El Mencho was suffering from severe kidney disease, requiring regular dialysis. The Mexican government believed this would slow him down, force him to surface, force him into hospitals. It never did. He built private medical facilities. He treated his illness underground, invisible to everyone looking for him. For over a decade, the most wanted man in the Western Hemisphere simply disappeared into plain sight. But empires crack, and El Menchos began to crack from within. The arrests started closing in. Senior CJNG commanders were captured in 2021, 2022, and 2023, each one carrying pieces of the organization's internal structure. The DEA's intelligence picture of CJNG grew sharper with every arrest. His kidney disease worsened. The dialysis he required became harder to hide. Medical supplies had to move. People had to move. And movement creates patterns. Patterns create intelligence. Intelligence creates operations. At the same time, CJNG's brutal tactics began generating enemies inside Mexico that even money couldn't silence. Rival cartels, civilian resistance groups, and local militias began feeding information to authorities, not out of loyalty to the government, but out of hatred for CJNG. The walls were closing, slowly, but they were closing. The details of El Mencho's final days are still emerging. What is known is this: the man who built the most feared criminal organization in the world, the man who survived 2 decades of pursuit by the most powerful law enforcement agencies on Earth, did not survive forever. The ghost of Jalisco was found.
And when it was over, the $10 million bounty, the wanted posters, the DEA task forces, the sleepless years of intelligence work, all of it had finally added up to one thing. El Mencho was gone. But here is what nobody is talking about. When a cartel loses its leader, especially one as dominant as El Mencho, it doesn't just disappear, it fractures, it bleeds. And in that bleeding, something more dangerous is often born. Right now, inside CJNG, a war for succession is beginning. Lieutenants who spent years in El Mencho's shadow are making their moves. The question isn't whether CJNG will survive. The question is, who will control it next? And what will they be willing to do to prove they're in charge? That story is just beginning, and we'll be covering every move.